back and back, and we're back for HK breakfast. Got my iced lemon tea. It's pretty hot, gonna be hot today. It's already 76 degrees, going up to like 84. It's supposed to be 89 today. That's weird. No way. Downgrade. Okay, it's like a 2 lemon iced tea. Got in with about 13 minutes to spare. Hey Carrie, good morning. 13 minutes to spare before the cutoff for breakfast special here. Back over here, delicious food corn. Hey Chris, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, man? Oh, you're going to spring training? Oh, it's gonna be 90. Dang it, dude! It's supposed to be 89, but I don't know. It got downgraded. It's only saying on my watch. It's only saying 84. But I know it's going to be 91-ish more. I think on Sunday it's going to be really hot. I think it's going to go down a little bit tomorrow and Saturday, and then it's going to go back up. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, Chris. I'm really happy for you. Man, I was kind of concerned, dude. Yeah, getting back on your feet after, stuff is like, it's just got that groggy kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to be doing anything. And if you fall into that, you fall into that, sometimes it's hard to get back in the swing of things. So that's good to hear, Chris. I mean, that's the most important thing. Cheers. Yeah. Ooh, it's gonna be a hot one today. Well, you know how I guess Arizona, LA is kind of the same thing, kind of deserty weather. So the temperature is 90, but it's gonna feel like 95 or 96 or something like that, or more. Depending on where you are. I know that, you know that. It's the feels like temperature, the most important thing. And remember, keep hydrated again. Keep hydrated. Yeah, keep hydrated, man. Yeah, so got an update kind of like, and then starting to pay some bills here. It's like, yeah, it's like realizing like, man, modeling is kind of pricey, Then I gotta think about the traveling kind of expenses. So I guess it's on YouTube. YouTube has some ads for me last night, and I guess you're certain typing certain things. I guess Google, whatever it is, knows something. So it put up some ad. Some ad was for a service apartment, and it says, okay, it says 4,000 yen and up. I said, I'll bite. 4,000 yen is a good price. I mean, it's not $40. It's more like $25, $28, something like $30 maybe around. So I was saying, nah, I'll bite. So I look into it, and I'm looking for some of the how much it is, and it's pretty nice. I mean, even just a one bedroom or one bed, it's nice. Way nicer than my studio. That I'm paying like what, $600 a month, furnished. Are you watching on your car screen? Oh wow, dude, you can watch on your car screen, dude. That's pretty nice. That's amazing, because I know that we can't do that in California. I know if you pay some money in Japan, you can have a mechanic. You can watch TV on your screen in your car. Like 2,500 yen or something like that, or 3,500 yen, you'll be able to like have a mechanic just pop the TV on your car screen. Fantastic. So I think at 4,000 yen, that sounds really good. So I go on like other sites like Booking or Agoda, whatever. So I try to price out for one night. It's $199 a night. I was like, what? I mean, comparison Because like, thank you. Oh, wrong one. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. Pork ribs. Is this the pork
rib?
Yeah, pork ribs.
You want the pork rib?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry. You're parked. Okay, you doing Netflix. Dude, but it's like, I don't even think that I can do that in my car. So I was like, that didn't look like pork ribs. I was like, anyway. So anyway, I got my chow mein though. The old plate of chow mein. The chow mein going in. Okay, fantastic. I don't think, see, I can't, even if I'm parked, I can't even do that. Is that with a new car or what's going on? Is that an American car or what? Oh, Tesla. I think my coworker might have mentioned that. Because she has all Teslas. Their family has all Tesla. Yeah, I think my coworker, she got invited in the beginning to the Cybertruck announcement up in the North Town. She also got invited to the truck, the automated like a shipping truck, you know, the big 4x, the Tesla's doing the 4x. Yeah, the trip planning is not going to come until about a week or so from now, after the halfway point of the construction or the remodeling. So also, I gave a heads up to my Tokyo friends, that my personal friends, for a possible side quest. Well, main quest for us over in Japan would be. We had talked about it before. Well, I'm going for a wedding over in Malaysia, so I'll be in probably end of March. I'll probably stop off in Tokyo first, the round trip, the first part, maybe about a week or so, and then head out to Southeast Asia, Malaysia for a wedding, just maybe stay for a couple weeks. Singapore, I'm trying to feel out my friend right now for Singapore. I might go for a week in Singapore. Maybe check out. I'm trying to find out tours to either Australia or New Zealand. I know because I've never been there before. Malaysia, I have friends. Well, I had a friend, and then also Singapore, I have a friend. But if that doesn't work out, then I have to look for a tour. Right now, I found out my friend from Singapore is in Okinawa right now. And then, so the trip I'm thinking about basically is we had talked about my friends because he's a road biker. So it's a Shimanano Kaido. I think we had a little bit of biking. I think now it's more mature now on the Shimanano Kaido. I think the Shimanano Kaido, the last time I was there was maybe, I'm going to say 12 to 15 years ago. Yeah, I want to say 12 to 15 years ago at least. And that's, I think, when I started to want to actually bike. Well, actually, even like 20 years ago was when I had the bike. But the thing is, I think after that, but the thing is, when I actually did the Shimanano Kaido. Okay, I was by myself, so I didn't get out of the hotel. I think I overslept, and then thank you. And then what happened was that the you see, it's okay. I don't have a bike, so it's gonna be rental. So at the big rental place, okay, I starting out in I don't know if you ever seen the game Yakuza. One of the Yakuza games is centered in a seaside town of Hiroshima, and I think Luke Nomadic went over there before. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's take a look at what I'm getting today. Okay, let me turn your guys around. This one's hot, but it's not as piping hot as the other selections. It is hot, but not as hot as because for some reason it's like preserved vegetable and pork ribs. But it is hot, And then I have my chow mein. I already ate some of my chow mein, and I have a ice lemon tea. So this is what I got today. Okay, hang on. I don't have my. Lucky this case has like a little stand, kickstand. But let me find a soup spoon because I don't want to eat with the ladle. Yeah, so the Shimano Kaido. Okay, what's Onamichi, that's it. I don't know if you've ever played Yakuza or the one of the Yakuza games. It's centered around Onamichi. So all the side quests, things like that are Onamichi. I remember that one time Luke was on a trip, and that's one of the places he went to was Onamichi. And that Onamichi is a seaside town in Hiroshima that's it's a jumping off point for the Shimanano Kaido on the Honshu side. The Shimanano Kaido is a kind of like a highway that has both roads for vehicles like cars, trucks, etc., semis, and then it also has a bikeway. So it goes from Honshu, which is the main island, and it goes to it goes through the Seto Island Sea. Seto Island Sea is the sea, like with the pirates, the old pirates. I think that's another thing of the pirates, the old Japanese pirates. The Seto Inland Sea is the Seto Island Pirates. I guess Seto, the name itself, the family name, is some of the powerful pirates or family pirates that happened to sail those seas during the Sengoku and before time in Japan's history. So there's now a bridge that stretches from Honshu, Onamichi, Hiroshima, all the way to Shikoku, the fourth biggest island, main island is called Shikoku, and it goes into a prefecture called Ehime. So basically that's the course, and there's many islands and there's bridges, but along all these bridges and all these highways, is a bike path. However, what I discovered is that on the islands or the bigger islands, there's no real bike path. It's just you're on a road. I think if you've ever seen Connor and Chris Broad doing the bike-a-thon, that you'll realize what it entails. There is a bike lane, specific bike lane, if in some islands, but most likely not. But some of it is mostly on the bridges. Okay, I found out, a bridge has to go over the water. the water is usually at a certain level, sea level. However, in order to go to the bridge is above sea level. So in order for your bike or any car to go up there, the car just has to press the gas and it'll go up. However, a bike, they made a lane. Okay, there's a hill, and you go the little hill going this way, so it's uphill. But you go in a corkscrew. Then you go across the bridge, and then you have to come down the corkscrew, and then go out to where you're going to go. So, and there's many islands. There's many islands and many bridges. So that's the Shimanano Kaido. So this time, I think those days, but e-bikes were not a thing. If they were, they're probably too expensive. So. Also, I already planned this out, and when I asked for reservations, there were no reservations for the bikes. So they had a vast number of bikes, but it's like the same price. It's the same price for the rentals. There's like, and there's not, I guess, one bike vendor. Well, the ones on the ends have the most bikes. But the thing is this, it's first come, first serve. No reservations. So they have all sorts of bikes. They have like touring bikes, etc. Well, I have to take I didn't stay exactly at Onamichi. I found a hotel that was 30 minutes, 30 odd minutes, 45 minutes away. So from where my jumping off point, which is Onamichi. So I finally roll in there, and then you got to do all the paperwork, stuff like that. So finally, I get out of there. It's supposed to take like at least, 6 to 8 hours or more to get just nonstop to go on a bike, to go from one point to the next, to the other island. By this point, what I did was I used to forward, I guess about 10 years ago. I mean, I couldn't carry everything on my bike, my suitcases. So what I did was, I was staying at a Toyoko Inn. So I basically luggage forward my stuff to the next Toyoko Inn, which was in Ehime. So all I had on me for about a day or so was my backpack. Or a day pack. So that was my planning. So I had said, okay, but the thing is, by the time I got out of the bike rental and had my bike in hand, it was 12 o'clock noon, high noon, and it was like hot as hell. And I did it in the summer. I don't know. And the other thing is that they tell you is they give you a map. And then I didn't know for whatever reason there's like 23 at that time. There's 23, 27, 23 different bike shops that are all affiliated. But you have to turn. You could turn your bike into any one of them. I don't think they're the same owner, but it's like a network. So I thought, back in my mind, I'm healthy. There's no problem. But the thing is this: best case scenario, it was gonna take 6-7 hours at least. So theoretically, I should have started at 7 or 8, but it's now 12 o'clock. As in Japan, the bike rental shops close at like 5 o'clock. Regular business hours. So I have to finish the whole course, which is like what? 60, 80 miles. I guess maybe I was thinking it was going to be flat, but it's not flat. Even on the islands, there are hills, even on the islands, and some of the islands are not small. Some of them are small, not all of them. Some are it's like a city. It's like a city. It's like a real city. Having to navigate that, it's a summertime, have to get drinks. Oh, by the way, I got there when it was almost slim pickings. So the bike I got, because all the bikes, same price. I ended up with the worst bike possible for this kind of trip. I got a Mama Charity. I don't know if you know what a Mama Charity is. It's a heavy. It's good if you're doing errands. It's not good if you're gonna go like 88 miles. You know, this is a typical Mama Charity. Hey, believe in yourself. So yeah, that's what I ended up with. It should have ended there. No, I should have not gone on it. But you know what? I'm here. Let's go for it. So the first part of my first leg was there's a ferry. So that's right. Some islands don't have the bike lane, whatever, or you know, you start at a certain location. So that's a cheat also. And one that cheats is a ferry. So a lot of these islands actually have ferries. There's a ferry system that ferries you between, you know. So I did cheat a little bit, but you know, I mean, so right at that port, Onamichi, there's a ferry station. So I took a ferry to another island, but there's a highway system. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. So it's a Mama Charity. And it's like it's hell heavy. It's like a steel bike, and it's not a light steel bike, and I gotta be doing that the whole time. And the only time I went is probably July. It's like the hottest part, and it's like the most humid part of the summer out in Kyushu. Well, not Kyushu. It's Hiroshima. Still, it's like really hot. It's in Honshu, but it's in Hiroshima. We're going over the sea, and then yeah, it's hot. Oh, another thing. Okay, if I told you, remember the Seto Island Sea, Seto Island Pirates. One of the things that is famous for also too. I think I did stop for that too. I don't know if you ever heard of a manga anime called Naruto. What is Naruto? Well, Naruto. One of the things of Naruto is like there's that little thing in ramen that has like a white and pink and has a little swirl. That's like a Naruto. But the thing is, what a Naruto actually is in the ocean or the river or the like the Seto in the sea. A Naruto is a whirlpool. So they have trips or tours somewhere, some of these islands. You pay some money and you go see the Naruto. So, and some Naruto are actually pretty big, and that's the reason why you needed, like, because the pirates knew the waters. So you would, you know, the pirates would extort you or certain ships for money because to see if they navigate, you know, the Seto Island Sea. The thing is that if you didn't, there's a possibility of you and your cargo would be swept up in these whirlpools, and you lose everything in people's lives. Back in the old days, you know, that was kind of important. I think the ships weren't as, you know, as they are today. Even today, you still have to worry about whirlpools, depending how big they are. But several islands have these Naruto tours. I mean, I went on one. I think I went on one of them. I don't think I did. I did go on one of these tours. Anyway, and you could actually spend a lot of time in any of these islands. Actually, there's actually B&Bs that are on all these islands. So give me a whole trip, like a week or whatever. But if you want to just do a one shot, you just go through it all. But it's a trip. I mean, the Shimanano Kaido. I think there's like a tourist agency, and I mean it's becoming more renowned. I think after the Trash Taste Boys like Chris Broad, Connor, Garth, Joey didn't do it. But yeah, they ran this. Hey, Olam, how you doing? So they did this bike ride. I think more, and then recently it's become more popular. I think when I did it, I think pretty much only Japanese. I mean, that was back in my day. It's a little more popular, but it is known among bike riders. The biggest thing is because the network is kind of straightforward, and it does have a system across all the bridges for bicyclists. One notable, I didn't complete it. Let's just say that the short course, I didn't complete it. I gave up like about maybe two-thirds of the way. I cramped up with the Mama Charity in the heat, even with the drinks and the Picard Sweat. I cramped up. It was just too heavy of a bike. The Mama Cherry is just too heavy, and me just fighting against. I think one time, I think after the third or fourth or fifth bridge, I was going up one of those things, and all of a sudden, cramped up, and then had to struggle all the way back. I had to go back to one of the other bike shops to turn in the bike. And then I went and I waited for about an hour or so at some random bus stop to take me all the way to Ehime. Yeah, if you remember on those like anime or movies, and you see a rural area, and there's a little shed, and there's a seat in there. That's in Japan. That's for like a bus. I was in one of those for like about over an hour. I was looking at the schedule. What the heck, So I was just out there, and it was pretty hot. Had to walk out there. Wasn't sure by myself. Wasn't sure. There was nobody around. Wasn't sure if this was the right bus stop. Wasn't sure if it was the middle of summer, And so, and I was like, man, I need to get down there before the sun goes down. I don't want to navigate in a foreign country by myself. I think I didn't have phone service. I just had I think I had internet service, but I don't know. I was just still uncertain, So, and I was like, again, two-thirds into it. So I was just waiting, and I don't know what the payment system is to get to the bus, and after I get to the bus, it drops me off. Then I get to go, like either another bus, or like a subway or whatever. Or a trolley to get to my hotel. So anyways, it's like a little shed with an opening and a bench on the inside. So I don't know if you've seen it in the movies, but yeah, that's I actually first time I stayed in one. I was like, what? Because I was like, but I poked my head out because there's like a bus circle kind of like, and then I didn't see God, what bus is gonna which bus am I taking? So those are all, and I'm by myself. So which am I gonna take? So finally, I think after a couple of wrong ones, finally one comes, and then I grab it, and basically, as I'm leaving the bus, as the bus is leaving, I'm looking at the sun. The sun is like, is slowly going down as I finally got on the bus. When I got into Ehime, it was already dark. And basically I was staying in Ehime for about 2 or 3 days, maybe 2 or 3 days. So, but the other one thing I wanted to do in Ehime was to go to the Royal Onsen. If you've ever seen a Ghibli movie, one of them is about the bathhouse. Let's see. So the bathhouse was modeled after this royal bathhouse. Hey Wanda, how you doing? So the bathhouse in Ehime was modeled after. It actually is a royal onsen. So it's but it's used for tourists these days. But it's in I think the capital in Ehime. So so I actually went there, but the thing is that so if you've seen the Ghibli movie, what's that movie? It's the one where the girl, her parents. Okay, if you ever seen the other part of the movie, the Ghibli movie is like the parents act like pigs, and that's what another place I went to, Japan. That was modeled after that part. But this part, this person served as a servant, and they served in this bathhouse. So they're all dressed in red. I can't remember that movie, but this royal bathhouse is the one. It's in Ehime. Oh, thanks, Wanda. So, but I've been there. The thing is, like, at that time, Chinese tourists were at full swing. So there's 2 pay slots for the second floor. You get to have tea and some like mochi or whatever some kind of tea snack. It's a certain price, and it's but the thing is that it's a little bit costly. I mean, well, now it's not costly. But the thing is, because they're Chinese tourists, it's all sold out. So it's like, what? So I guess all the tour groups are going through, so I couldn't do it. And they have another one, but again, that's not worth it because you don't get to sit down. You got to take it outside or something like that. It's like, why? Because it's upstairs on the second floor and it's like a tatami mat or so. Pork ribs. Give her a bone. So that was pretty cool. There was a trolley outside my hotel that ran to the I can't remember the name, but it's only one royal onsen back from the old days in Japan. If you want to look for top 3 ancient onsens, or the oldest onsens that you should go to, this is one of the 3. The other one is in Beppu, and I went to that one too, and that was the one that's like the oldest onsen in Japan. But so I wanted to go for that reason. It was Doku onsen, I think. Dogu. Dogu or Dogo onsen. That's the one I'm talking about, and that's in Ehime. So that was considered that was a royal onsen before. So, and then that was pretty cool. I mean. And then also across from the Toyoko Inn, I took the trolley or the streetcar. That was pretty cool. I didn't stay there for too long, but across the street from the Toyoko Inn, I should have gone there, but I didn't. They had like a cafe or something like that, but it was It was a weird kind of cafe. It had an open mic or open instruments, so it looked like it's pretty happening. I went somewhere else. I went to like Izakaya. If I had more time, I should have gone there, but they have like instruments there. It's like not just a piano, but other kind of instruments like drums, whatever. So people can jam there. That was so cool. It's like a music cafe or a music izakaya, whatever it was. And that was kind of special. I'd never seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen it since. Who knows if it's still there. That was like 10, 15 years ago. But it was like, it was like a cafe or something like that, but it was happening, like pianos, drum set, all these other instruments. I think also maybe affiliated with like maybe a music shop, whatever, but it was like people could just jam there. And people would just sit and order food or whatever and just enjoy it. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like, does stuff like that happen in the U.S.? Have you guys ever heard of something like that? Well, what are you having for breakfast? But that was in a He-Man. That was my terminal point of the. But I did roll in there, and then actually that's what happened. I was taking the trolley or the streetcar and going into the hotel, and I saw two guys. And that's the first time I saw, they had tour bikes, and they were wearing the tour bike, or the the touring outfit, the bike jerseys, and then the tights, But they had these strange bags. They were carrying these bags on the trolley, and it was kind of full. So they were the size of a wheel. So I'm trying to figure out what is it. Apparently, their entire bike, their tour tying bike, fit into that bag, and it was holding at their side. So you don't have a big old bike on the trolley. So again, this is all part of the Shimanano Kaido. So this is both parts of Terminal N. But this one, so people would come here for that. So they're on the trolley and they have this big, it's like a black bag, but it's the size of it. And I said, what's that? And they speak English, and I said, oh yeah, that's our bicycle. What? So they were able to fit their whole bicycle, both wheels and the frame, into that bag. It's the size of the wheel. So that was pretty good. That was my first time. I was like, wow. So the ability is there to transport your bikes, your touring bike. Oh, they're just ripping all the curtains down. Sunny day. So that's my little tale, I guess, of the Shimanano Kaido. So I haven't conquered it yet, if there's such a thing as conquering. But I heard about it early on because I think that by that time, my friends were saying, "Why are you here? How are you here for so long? Why don't you do something?" So that's what I did. I tried to do it. I think if it was a touring bike, I'm not sure, but still, it was the height of summer. That's another thing too. Riding the Shimanano Kaido, something unadvisable. The other thing is you don't have to do the whole thing. Some people never do the whole thing. What they do is just do certain portions. That's a trick. Like, let's say if some people maybe do a round trip, that you park somewhere, you transit somewhere. I mean, maybe you transit there, and then you take a bus, somewhere else, or so, you could segment it out, or you could plan a trip. Like the terminal part of your trip might be an Airbnb. I mean, or B&B, not the Airbnb, but there are a lot of B&Bs on those islands. So different ones. So I don't know about now, but because they're islands, you know what I'm saying. So, and you could have there's a variety of activities you can do, island museums, etc. Again, a lot of the islands, as most places in Japan have their unique cuisines, gift items, etc. Okay, got all my ribs, got all the ribs out, man. It's like, the ribs, when you get ribs, is like slowing you down a little bit. So that's pretty good. So again, started in Onamichi, Hiroshima. The Yakuza series, the game, it's called Like a Dragon in Japan. But one of them takes place in Onamichi. The Yakuza series is known for being an open world. And Onamichi is like again a seaside Hiroshima town in Hiroshima Prefecture. And yeah, so it's if you've ever played that game, then you'll actually recognize most of Onamichi. So that's pretty interesting then, because I think Luke, no matter Gaijin, sorry to name drop, but when he went there, he recognized certain places from the game because he'd played the game when he was younger. He said, "Yeah, I know this place." I think just same thing like if you play GTA San Andreas, you'll know certain places in LA. Because with the whole, think about it, it's not been too long. Last 20, 25, 30 odd years. The GPS, 3D modeling entire cities, neighborhoods. Before this was an impossibility without the advent of computing power. In the older days, you had to have like a university or government kind of computer that would be 3D modeling. The 3D modeling, even back in the 90s and the 2000s, was almost an impossibility or too much of an expense. But now, 3D modeling, people have already done it. 3D modeling, 3D mapping, geo mapping, boundaries, all these things, I mean, it's just interesting that we've progressed to a certain degree. I mean, as far as all this kind of 3D modeling, etc., for cities, etc., and then virtually you may have been there, but you've never been there. Pretty interesting, though. So, I mean, in the old days, you would need to block out time to do a 3D kind of rendering for your own model, but just the whole, I think back in the 90s when I was in school, I mean, there was a 3D modeling lab. One of them was probably in geology or geography. Another one was in art. But the amount of resources, electricity, computing power, a limited time that it was very, very hard to do. I mean, in the lab, sometimes they close, stuff like that. So, people be waiting there for the schedule for it to open. Sometimes a person would be late in opening up the lab. You have to log in, get all your stuff ready, and then run your job, and you'd wait for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of the whole day for your little 3D modeling to be ready, and then sometimes be wrong, or sometimes they make a mistake, or have a glitch or a power outage, or the computer could go down. So things were difficult, and then and then the only people that maybe had these sets of things were CIA, JPL. Those are the only ones that had the money, the resources, and the time to do certain things. But now a lot of it's free to the public to a certain degree, or free to the taxpayers. But now I wonder now if stuff's getting closed down. Talking about the ability to access certain things. Because at one time, I think until maybe 20 or 30 years ago, schematics and information regarding how to make an atomic bomb was freely accessible to anybody, in the United States, and then anybody, didn't matter if you were a citizen or not, you could access that stuff. I was like, then I think finally people started doing it, and then making threats. And then finally, I think they shut that down or something like that. Kind of like finally, it's not a good idea to have all that openly to the public. But what I'm saying, freedom, it all falling under a certain law, the Freedom of Information Act. Are you guys still there? Well, anyway, so. Yeah, so Shimanano Kaido on the docket for this spring. Oh man, that was good. The only thing I didn't finish was the chow mein. Anyway, guys, so that's pretty much in a nutshell. Let's see, I think other things have to come into play, but again, Malaysia, Singapore, maybe Australia, and New Zealand, and then down there, Vietnam possibly, but we'll see. And then back up to East Asia. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan. So I'll have to contact JJ, see how is he over there. Okay, thanks, Olum. Yeah, so looks like I'm finished with breakfast. It's 12:05. It's 12 noon. So what? Almost 9 o'clock over there. Hey, Wander. Oh, Wander said he's gonna be showing the show. Look, watching us on replay. I think all the freaking dust in the house. Yeah, I'm not sure. And now I tried to put the air purifier on that I picked up, and not working. So I might have to reach out to tech support. I looked online last night. They said that some people got sent some other replacements. But we'll see. We'll see. Weak connection. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna roll it out now then. Thanks a lot for coming by. Joining me for lunch. I'll see you guys later, okay? Peace out, baby.